Ukraine is fighting for its life. Right there, you see Ukraine hitting oil refineries in Russia. But then you have Vladimir Putin and Hungary's Putin bootlicker, Viktor Orban, sending letters to Donald Trump complaining about Russian oil refineries being hit by Ukraine. And then Donald Trump is sending Viktor Orban letters that Hungary's right-wing propaganda media is posting saying, "I do not like hearing this, Victor. I'm very angry about it. Tell Slovakia also, you are my great friend, Donald." And Donald Trump is saying this in response to news that Ukraine is hitting Russian-backed oil refineries. Here's what Viktor Orban wrote to Donald Trump 5 days ago, just before the historic meeting between Trump and Putin in Alaska. Ukraine carried out drone strikes on the Druzhba oil pipeline in Russia. This pipeline supplies Hungary and Slovakia, two countries that have no other means of importing crude oil. Hungary supports Ukraine with electricity and petrol. In return, they bomb pipelines that supply us. Very unfriendly move. We wish Trump every success in pursuit of peace. And then Donald Trump is attacking Ukraine in this letter, and it's being used by Putin and Orban. Are you kidding me? And then Donald Trump pulls up this photograph yesterday in the Oval Office. This is not green screen stuff. Like, Donald Trump was in the Oval Office yesterday when they were supposed to release the Epstein files, right? They don't release the Epstein files. Instead, they release Ghislaine Maxwell's audio transcript and the written transcript, which is filled with her saying, "Oh, Donald never did anything wrong. A perfect gentleman." Also, Ghislaine Maxwell says, Jeffrey Epstein, he liked the young girls because he liked to get their musical selection. He wasn't really doing anything creepy or perverted. This is what she said. She goes, he just wanted to learn music. That's why he was with the young girls. I mean, that's what Ghislaine Maxwell was saying. Our DOJ is literally getting into bed with a convicted sex trafficker and giving her immunity from prosecution. I did a whole video going through that. In any event, why I'm mentioning that is that Donald Trump wanted all of these distractions. One of them was he held that bizarre Oval Office press conference yesterday where he's there with the head of FIFA. I'm like, why is the head of FIFA there? They're talking more about the World Cup. What are you going to do? Talk about the World Cup all of the time? Then Donald Trump holds up this photo of himself and Putin that he says Putin sent him, and he gives it to the head of FIFA and says, and Putin wants to come here. I'm going to let him be here in the United States for the World Cup, and I'll sign it and he'll sign it. How incredible. Vladimir. Like, what the hell is going on here? I love that California Governor Gavin Newsom is just mocking the crap out of this, right? What did Donald Trump announce this week? That America officially bought a 10% stake, or the federal government now owns a 10% stake in Intel. Why would we have a 10% stake in Intel for? That's literally the definition of central planning, statism. I mean, that's all of the things that we criticize China for doing and Russia for doing. That's quite literally communism, but that's what the GOP is doing. Governor Newsom writes, all hail Chairman Trump with his glorious 10% purchase of Intel. The Socialist Republic of America enters a bold new era of government run business. I mean, how, again, despicable is that? By the way, I'm going to do a whole nother video about this today. Have you seen Donald Trump's hand? Have you seen the discoloration? It's getting worse and worse and worse. And it looks like a lot of blood is being drawn from him. And it looks like, just the doctors who I've talked to, what you're seeing here looks to be a very serious heart condition manifesting publicly with the ankles that are swollen, with the discoloration in the hand. He struggles to stand up. He's waddling. He can't walk in straight lines. That seems to be what's taking place. Ghislaine Maxwell's audio from her interview with Donald Trump's number 2 at his DOJ and former criminal defense attorney, Todd Blanche. Here's what Ghislaine said. As far as I'm concerned, Trump was always very cordial. He was very kind to me, very kind man. He's very much of a gentleman, one would say. Okay, shut up, Ghislaine. You're a convicted sex trafficker. You sex trafficked young girls. You would go to Mar-a-Lago. You would find the girls at the spa and you would sex traffic them to wealthy billionaires across the world. Anyway, this is what she said. Here, play this clip.
What did you observe as far as President Trump and his relationship with you or Mr. Epstein?
Well, I just want to say for my relationship with President Trump, relationship's a big word, but I just want to say that I met him, or I believe I may have, because of my father in the 90s. And as far as I'm concerned, President Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me. And I just want to say that I admire his extraordinary achievement in becoming the president now. And I like him. And I've always liked him. So that is the sum and substance of my entire relationship with him.
I think it's worth reflecting as well on the horrible economic condition of our country right now. I mean, you have, let's just call it what it is. We're entering stagflationary times, whether we're directly in stagflation or stagflation is bad, right? That means GDP going down, 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 unemployment going up, 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 and inflation going up, up, up as well. Those are just the facts. So why is the stock market doing well? It's kind of counterintuitive. Because our economy is now doing so bad, the Federal Reserve basically is being forced into potentially dropping interest rates in order now to try to save the economy from even something that may be worse than a recession. So they're trying to do CPR on the economy by potentially lowering interest rates in September. So on that, corporations were like, great, fantastic, but our dollar is being crushed. The treasury yields are surging, showing instability in our markets. Gold price is surging. And you know how Donald Trump and these MAGAs would talk about third world countries? Our economy is looking like meme coin third world country stuff right now, where the rich are playing in the sandbox of their greed while most Americans are suffering. I mean, that's just what's happening right now. The U.S. government deficit will likely rise 7.9% of GDP by 2027 in the current state of things. Donald Trump's responsible for $12.5 trillion of our overall debt right now comes from Donald Trump, and that's going to surge even higher right now. Not good stuff. I'm going to show you what Chairman Powell had to say in a moment, but how is Donald Trump manipulating his supporters while all of this is taking place? I always want to study that, right? So Donald Trump goes, I went on patrol with the police. And then there's another email. I am Donald Trump. I'd like to conduct an interview with you. Could you spare just 1 minute for your favorite president? Of course, it's me, Trump. I want to do an interview with you. Or how about this right here? 1 hour until results hit my desk. This award certifies you. And Donald Trump goes, Golden Trump Certificate Award that certifies your name has been a contributing member of the America First movement. Here's your golden certificate, but you have to pay him money, donate money to him, and then you get your golden certificate. And then you have the MAGA flash poll from Trump. Ben, I'm keeping this short and sweet because I love you. I want the results of this poll on my desk within an hour. Don't miss your shot. I mean, he's out there saying, I love you. I love you. Or sometimes he says, I'm getting really sad. Are you not responding to me? What's going on here? I'm getting really, really sad. Just give you some other data points as well of what's taking place. A lot of the news that I get, by the way, in the headlines that I'm looking for and I'm seeing is right-wing or left-wing media covering this, I get from something called Ground News. You know, that's the research tool that I use. Ground News is essential for me to see through any double standards in the current media ecosphere. If you go to ground.news/MTN, scan the QR code, we're going to give our viewers 40% off Ground News top tier Vantage plan, which will give you unlimited access to all of the tools that I use. Ground News is subscriber funded. They don't rely on ads that could introduce bias. Subscribing supports our channel and their independent team working to keep the media transparent. And you could just see from some of these headlines like IRS halts layoff plans, looks to rehire some fired. employees. There's a lot less coverage of the right wing there. Or how about this? Kilmer Abrego Garcia released from criminal custody in Tennessee. Again, you see far less right wing coverage there as well. Or how about this headline right here? It is Powell, chairman of the Federal Reserve, signals Fed preparing to start rate cuts, cites downside risk to jobs. In other words, because so many people are losing their jobs, they may need to cut interest rates. Not because the economy is doing good, but because things are going very bad. Anyway, go check out Ground News. It's the tool that I use as well. Ground.news/MTN or scan the QR code. Get that 40% off of the Vantage plan. The thing about Kilmer Abrego Garcia as well, again, just to remind you in case you forgot, he's the migrant from Maryland. There was an order saying you can't send him to El Salvador. The Trump regime sends him to a concentration camp in El Salvador. The Supreme Court says return Abrego Garcia, facilitate his return. The Trump regime says we can't do it. They eventually bring him to Tennessee. They then arrest him and throw federal charges on him for a traffic stop that he was involved in like 3 or 4 years ago. And they said, you're a human trafficker. It was like the most fabricated case imaginable. They didn't have the goods. So the federal court eventually was like, release Abrego Garcia. But Abrego Garcia was worried, like, what's going to happen? Is ICE going to come and attack me? Like, what the heck is going to happen? So then ICE just announced yesterday that they would be sending Abrego Garcia to Uganda in 3 days. They gave notice that Abrego would be going to Uganda. So now Abrego has to fight being sent to Uganda. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, folks. You have Donald Trump posting yesterday, I'm pleased to announce that we are doing a major tariff investigation on furniture coming into the United States. Within the next 50 days, that investigation will be completed and furniture coming from other countries into the United States will be tariffed at a rate yet to be determined. This will bring the furniture business back to North Carolina, South Carolina, Michigan. No, it's not. No one's building the furniture factories here. Even if you built furniture factories here, okay, which is great. Let's have more factories here. What's going to happen? You need the parts. You need lumber from Canada. You need parts from Asia and Africa and Brazil. And the parts that you assemble the furniture with cost more money, and that's passed on to consumers. That's just the way economics works. We, the people, are feeling it right now. I mean, and here is, just so you hear for yourself, Chairman Powell talking about it. And again, he says it in a matter-of-fact way, a data-based way. But here's what the chairman of the Federal Reserve said. Again, he delivered bad news. Okay. And on this very bad news, the stock market surged. Here, play this clip.
Because monetary policy can work to stabilize cyclical fluctuations, but can do little to alter structural changes. The labor market is a case in point. The July employment report, released earlier this month, showed that payroll job growth slowed to an average pace of only 35,000 per month over the past 3 months, down from 168,000 per month during 2024. This slowdown is much larger than assessed just a month ago, as the earlier figures for May and June were revised down substantially. But it does not appear that the slowdown in job growth has opened up a large margin of slack in the labor market, an outcome we want to avoid. The unemployment rate, while edging up in July, stands at a historically low level of 4.2% and has been broadly stable over the past year. Other indicators of labor market conditions are also little changed or have softened only modestly, including quits, layoffs, the ratio of vacancies to unemployment, and nominal wage growth. Labor supply has softened in line with demand, sharply lowering the break-even rate of job creation needed to hold the unemployment rate constant. Indeed, labor force growth has slowed considerably this year with the sharp fall-off in immigration, and the labor force participation rate has edged down in recent months.
Now, this was Donald Trump in the Oval Office yesterday talking about how he was sent a picture from Vladimir Putin. Here, play this clip.
And I was just sent a picture from somebody that wants to be there very badly. He's been very respectful of me and of our country, but not so respectful of others. But I'm going to sign this for him, but I was sent one, and I thought you'd all like to see it. That's a man named Vladimir Putin, who I believe will be coming, depending on what happens. He may be coming and he may not, depending on what happens. We have a lot of things happening over the next couple of weeks. But I thought it was a nice picture of him. Okay of me, but nice of him. So that was very nice that it was sent to me. Okay?
And again, this to me was just one of the most humiliating things imaginable here, where Donald Trump again was talking about getting this photo from Putin. Just watch this one more time. Here, play this clip.
I thought you'd all like to see it. That's a man named Vladimir Putin, who I believe will be coming, depending on what happens. He may be coming and he may not, depending on what happens. We have a lot of things happening over the next couple of weeks. But I thought it was a nice picture of him. Okay of me, but nice of him. So that was very nice that it was sent to me. Okay?
Donald Trump is also making posts bragging about, he puts an X next to Lisa Cook, who's a federal Board of Reserve governor. This is the photo that he chooses of Lisa Cook. One of the first African-American governors on the female governors, governor on the Federal Reserve Board. And Donald Trump just puts an X through her because Donald Trump had his Fair Housing Association director, Bill Pulte, make a claim that she's engaged in mortgage fraud. And then on that basis, criminally investigate her and then now try to have her terminated from the Federal Reserve Board right there. And I'll just leave you with this. This is what they were saying on CNN about Ghislaine Maxwell. Here, play this clip.
Maxwell notably denies that any wrongdoing took place on her behalf, something that contradicts what we've heard from victims and clearly what she was convicted of.
Of course, she's going to say whatever they're going to say, but I just wanted to share that with you. Horrific, horrific stuff right there. Anyway, hit subscribe, help us get to 6 million subscribers, and thank you so much for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MidasPlus.com.